Good afternoon. My name is Jason Weber. I'm the Marin County Fire Chief, and it's a pleasure to have you here today. This is an exciting day for all of us. I think this is truly the result of good government, and when we have agencies and leadership come together under a common cause, almost anything is possible, and I think we've proven that today, and you'll hear from some of the young recruits that are benefiting from the program. Certainly our communities are benefiting from a safer place. And it's an absolute honor to be surrounded with some of the best colleagues there are in government, and those will be introduced shortly. The Fire Foundry program was created here in Marin with really three principal pillars to attempt to accomplish. One is to reduce our wildfire risk. The other, to create sustainable wage career pathways for young men and women. And then also help the fire service reflect the communities we serve by having more women and people of color reflected in uniformed personnel and professional civic careers like the fire service, dispatch, emergency medicine, and many others. None of this would be possible without our partners, and many of which you're going to hear from today, but I'll highlight some: the California Volunteers, the College of Marin, the Marin Fire Service, the leadership of our Board of Supervisors, helping create the program and funding it, the Marin Wildfire Prevention Authority, the Marin Professional Firefighters, and the list goes on. But none of this would be possible today without them. So I am deeply, deeply grateful for their commitment and the vision to get us to this point. Also, someone that knows service better than most, Josh Fryday, a local native, born and raised here in Marin County, served in our United States military in the Navy as a JAG officer, later coming back, serving his community as a council member, and now working as the Chief Service Officer of California that's moving many of these types of programs forward throughout the state, ensuring that we're on a sustainable path forward. So it's an absolute pleasure and honor to introduce Josh Fryday.
Thank you, Chief Weber. It is so wonderful to be back here in Novato and to come home, a place where I grew up and had the honor of serving as a council member and as a mayor. And now as I think about the work we're doing at the state level with the governor, so much of that work was rooted here in the values that I learned growing up in Novato, of service, of giving back, of what it means to be part of a tight-knit community. And we're thinking about how do we spread those values all across the state. So thank you for the welcoming. Thank you for being here. Today is an exciting day for us to celebrate. It's an exciting day for the state of California. It's also an exciting day for this community. And as I was thinking about, as I was coming home and driving in, I was thinking about when I was on the council, being woken up in the middle of the night by the smoke coming over from what we found out later was the Santa Rosa fires. And how the next day I went out, and by nightfall, every single square inch of all of our churches and all of our community centers were filled with essentially fire refugees. People who had to flee Santa Rosa and flee Sonoma during that tragic event and had to find a place to live. And what I realized and what I learned from that experience was how so many of those who were forced out of their homes, who were forced to find emergency shelter, were non-English speakers. And the point that brought home to me was how absolutely critical it is, especially in the state of California, to make sure that our disaster services, in both preparation but also in response, actually reflect the state of California, reflect our communities, reflect our diversity, which is why I am so proud of the extraordinary efforts that are taken by Chief Weber, by the Marin County Fire Foundry, by my brother in arms, John Bagla, who has been working so hard to make sure that this work reflects our community, that it reflects the voices of our community, that it reflects the diversity of our community, because that's where our strength comes from. And we're here today to talk about the Californians for All Youth Jobs Corps and our partnership here in this community, because Governor Newsom has a bold vision. He has a vision for California where we are creating opportunities for the next generation not just to launch them on a career and invest in them, which we are doing, but to say, we need you to serve. We need you to be involved in your community. And we're going to create the opportunity for you to do that. I had a chance right before we all collected here to speak to a few members who are participating in this program now and hear their inspiring stories of why they chose to serve and what this program means to them, including an incredibly inspiring young mother who talked about the impact of this program as a young mother, not just on her life, but what that impact is going to have for her children and for the next generation. And so when we think about the $2.7 million that the Californians for All Youth Jobs Corps is investing in this community to create these kinds of opportunities, and the $185 million that we are investing statewide to create opportunities for young people to serve, we think about the future. That young mother, that service member, they are the future of California. And the message that we're sending with this $185 million investment statewide is not only do you have something to contribute, not only do we value you, we actually need you. If we're going to keep our communities safe from climate action or climate crisis, from fires, if we're going to protect all of our communities, we need our young people stepping up and serving, but it's on us to create that opportunity. Which is why I'm so proud to be standing here with my friends on the county supervisors, with Supervisor Rondoni, Supervisor Rice, with my friends at the Conservation Corps of North Bay, also with the Marin County Fire Foundry, because with this program together, we are creating a win-win-win. It's a win for our young people who are going to be getting job skills, who are going to be getting job training, but also are going to graduate understanding what it means to give back to their community in a meaningful way. It's a win for our community, where we're going to be protecting hundreds and thousands of people from fires and the catastrophe of this climate crisis. And it's a win for the entire state of California, where we create the next future workforce who are prepared to deal with the challenges that this state's going to face. So I'm so proud to be here today. It's such an honor to be standing with these partners to talk about the $2.7 million investment into this community and the $185 million investment into the Californians for All Youth Jobs Corps statewide. Y ahora, yo quiero decir algo para nuestras familias que hablan español. Youth Jobs Corps es un programa nuevo que ayudará a los jóvenes del condado de Marin a encontrar empleo centrado en ayudar a la comunidad. El estado de California y el condado de Marin estamos trabajando juntos para crear oportunidades para nuestros jóvenes. Este programa ayuda a los jóvenes, ayuda a la comunidad y ayuda al estado. Todos ganamos. And with that, I want to thank the legislature, Senator McGuire, Assemblymember Levine, for supporting this effort. I want to thank John Bagla from the Firefighters Association. I want to thank Chief Weber for your incredible leadership, the supervisors who are supporting these programs in such incredible ways, and most importantly, our partners, the Conservation Corps of the North Bay, and the young people who have stepped up to serve. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for being here, and let's get to work now. Appreciate it.
An amazing leader, Josh Fryday. Thank you. And thank you for all you've done for California and Marin. Leadership starts at the top. The Marin Board of Supervisors has had a clear vision for many years, and that's to protect these communities and do it with a lens of equity and make sure that we're including everyone, and those most vulnerable are represented and have a seat at the table. It's an absolute honor for me to introduce, I have two supervisors here, Dennis Rodoni, the president of the Marin Wildfire Prevention Authority, and then the president of the Board of Supervisors, Katie Rice. Both of these individuals have been instrumental in our path forward with protecting these communities, creating the Marin Wildfire Prevention Authority, reaching out to our constituents who ultimately passed a tax to tax themselves, to protect themselves, but it takes leadership to do that, and these individuals have shown that, so it's an honor to introduce Board of Supervisors President Katie Rice.
Whew, it's hot. Good afternoon. I'm supposed to speak to collaboration and the power of collaboration, of which this program is a prime example. But first, I want to give credits to Josh Fryday, who I walked around the lagoon with several times in his early years when he was really young. He's young now, but he was even younger then. And he was always talking about equity. He was always talking about the future. He was always talking about how can we work together to frankly elevate everyone within a community, but especially with an eye towards those who have been left behind historically, and also our younger generation. How do we make room for them in this community and also elevate them into positions where they're contributing and become the leaders of tomorrow? So Josh, thank you so much for your long-standing, passionate commitment to youth and to equity, and it doesn't surprise me that you're sitting where you're sitting now, up in Sacramento, and doing this great work for the governor and for the state of California. So really briefly, this Fire Foundry program was burning. Actually, it was a glimmer, but it was probably more than a glimmer in several people's little minds all during the pandemic and maybe before. Chief Weber was broiling on this as he was driving back and forth doing whatever he had to do for COVID during the 2017 and 18 North Bay fires. This has been something so important and a vision that was held close, and then as it was fleshed out and partners brought in, completely did flesh out. I want to thank Chief Weber for your amazing people skills in terms of pulling in great partners that we have today. President Wayne Coons, College of Marin has been outstanding on so many issues, and this is so exciting to actually be doing something right here in this space. North Bay Conservation Corps, long-standing, really important organization in Marin County, creating opportunity, jobs, education, paths to good careers for young people all across the North Bay, has been an essential partner. So it's so important that they're here and they're holding such an important part of this. We've had the participation of academia, folks from UC Berkeley and Stanford, and individuals within those organizations who have really lent their passion and their brain power and their connections to this project. Who else? County of Marin, yes, that's me, that's us. We try to just, I think our role, I know my role, I tend to be, I'm a cheerleader. I want to be a cheerleader. I don't have the bandwidth, the capacity, the muscle to take things from the start to the finish, but I know when I see people who are really passionate about a project and I can make the connections between organizations to help support that collaboration. So I just want to thank everybody involved in the Fire Foundry for making this happen. We are anticipating great things. We know they'll come, and we look forward to many, many cohorts flowing through these halls, as it were, and out into the fire service or whatever career you choose. And then finally to the state of California and the volunteers, California volunteers, for that really important grant funding. And it's my hope that we make this program such a star that it becomes a model for other communities up and down the state, and they'll need some funding to help get their projects and programs off the ground as well. So thank you very much.
Amen to that.
Thank you, Supervisor Rice. As mentioned, finding a partner that was already embedded in the community doing similar work was one of the aspects of this program, and ensure that it could be replicated and grow. And I'd like to welcome Angel Miner, the CEO of Conservation Corps North Bay, our pivotal partner in this program.
Thanks, Chief Weber. Yeah, and thank you so much, Josh Fryday and Cal Volunteers. I cannot tell you, as a workforce development job training program nonprofit, that we fight to get every dollar of funding. And when you hear something like this come out from the state with this kind of dollars and this kind of impact, of course we crossed our fingers and hoped some of it would come our way, but you just know what a difference that kind of funding can really make. And for our organization, it's really about environmental programs, and it's about getting high school diplomas and job training and thinking about sort of what that next career step is going to be. And I remember I got a call one day going, hey, do you guys think you might be interested in being part of this little program we're running? And it was one of the few times, not that I usually make decisions pretty quickly, but I think I said yes faster than the whole statement got out. I'm not even sure I knew what the role was, but I'm like, yes, how do we become a part of this? And I can remember one of the things that really struck me on, are we going to make a difference in this and how's it going to work? Our core members come into our program and they might be there, for 6 months, for a year, for a couple of years, depending on what their programming is. And they think, oh gosh, I'm going to go work maybe for Marin Parks, or I'm going to or I'm going to be an arborist, or I'm going to work in recycling. And these are all great jobs and careers. I promise you, not one of them ever said, I'm going to become a firefighter, because they never thought it was possible. And the communities that we serve and the people that we work with never ever saw a path. They're like, you've got to know somebody, you have to be white, there's all of these barriers, and it's just so hard to get through all these different steps to become a firefighter. And it just was never a possibility. And here we are, not even through the first year, and the number of applicants we have saying, I want to come and work, I want to get experience, I want to get whatever skills I need, because when those applications open up, I want to get in there, and I want to be part of the Fire Foundry, and I want to be a firefighter. And so they actually see that. They're seeing it in their communities. And when I look at the people that have gone through this program, and I've told you guys this many times, you're going to help the next group up, and you're going to remind them, this is what it did for me, and this is how it can impact me and change my life. But more than anything else, they're going to see themselves. They're going to see themselves in the fire service, and they're going to see, I can get there. And this program and the funding that came with it is going to help them see sort of that future, and that it's possible for them and the impact it's going to have on their families. So for us to be a part of it, I just thank everybody. I know so many people have been a part of that, and there's so many people that help make CCMB successful. But this program is one of those who are like, gosh, if we could just make this work, it's just going to be so great. And I'm not always the optimist that Chief Weber is, but I'm willing to work hard, but I'm like, I hope so. And he's always like, yeah, we got this, we got this. So thank you for that, and keeping me kind of that optimism for me too. But so I thank everybody, I really do, and know this is making a huge difference, and this funding is going to allow us to fund this program for a couple more years. And I will also tell you, people understanding what this community needs to be successful in a program like this, it isn't just about giving them paid work. It's about the wraparound services that they need. Do they need help with daycare? Do they need help with transportation? Do they need tutoring? There's all of these things. Do they need housing? And this program allows us to work with all that, and the funding allows us to work through all those issues to help people be successful and to think about the barriers they face that maybe somebody else coming into the fire service wouldn't. So I thank you for thinking about the people that we serve, the community that we serve, and thinking about all the things that are going to help them be successful and getting this program off the ground. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Angel. Being a product of the California Community College system, I don't think there isn't a bigger and better partner here, and especially an emphasis for our recruits, the importance of balancing the work experience in the field with the academics behind that. We have two great partners, UC Berkeley and locally here, an absolute gem, the College of Marin. And they have been fantastic in developing curriculum, developing pathways, supporting the recruits in the program with tutoring, ensuring that these individuals have a pathway through the educational system that will afford them a sustainable wage career. And we are so fortunate to have an amazing community college here in our backyard where we are today. And I'd like to introduce the president, David Wayne Kuhn. Dr.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Marin Community College District's Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, and students, welcome to College of Marin. Welcome to the Indian Valley campus. Absolutely. And we are so proud to be the educational partner in this initiative. I can tell you that. And I was just following our last two speakers, all the great things that they said about what we've been doing here, this is absolutely what it's all about. But there are so many touch points with our vision, our mission, our educational master plan, strategic plan, helping students with access and success, and helping to meet the county's educational and needs and workforce, and equity. That is a big part of what we're doing. And just to have the opportunity to have met each of you, which was great before we got the program started, tells me we're doing the right thing for the right reasons. And so we're excited to be a partner. We look forward to being an ongoing partner going forward. And as is with many partnerships, we may be standing here at some point in time, not too long in the distant future, talking about where we're going from here. Because this partnership has led us to other conversations at the table about how we can do more for the county in the area of fire, more for the state of California in the world of fire. So I congratulate the students for your success, and I just appreciate everybody's presence in a part of the program. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kuhn. So next, one of the most important speakers, if not the most important, one of our recruits, Armando Jimenez.
Hello. So my name is Armando Jimenez, and this is an opportunity. This program is an opportunity that I've never dreamed of possible. Me being a first-generation immigrant, I never thought of something like this could have been possible for me because I never had any type of opportunities like this. And but this program has offered me a lot of things that I never dreamed of. They're giving me education. They're giving me my EMR, EMT, my S130, S190 training. So they're training me how to use a chainsaw. There's not a lot of employers out there that would risk themselves like training you on a chainsaw. That's a dangerous equipment right there. And for me, one of the reasons I want to join the fire service is because when I go out to like a fire station, I see that there's not a lot of people that like look like me or that represent me, and like I can't relate with them, which is kind of sad. And I just want my the future generation, my kids or my cousins or anyone like that, so that if they were to get into a car accident or they were to call 911, and I know that the majority of my family don't speak English, so there's going to be a language barrier there. So I know if I were to go in there, I know how to speak Spanish. I can help them out, and I know that I'm probably going to give them a better opportunity of living than someone that doesn't fully know or understand how to speak the language Spanish. So that's why I think for bringing more minorities or more people of color into the fire service is very important. And what this program is doing is something it's very amazing, and thank you for this. It's taking a lot of time to really like get through this, but like they said at the beginning of the year as well, we're gonna be doing we're gonna have some walls. There's gonna be some challenges for us, but we have Angel here, we have Chief Weber, and all of these are supports for us. And anytime we feel down, we always go to them. And Engineer Galley back there, anytime we feel down or anything like that, we go to them and they always tell us, you have this, we're here for you. And I've never had that support before in my life, and I'm just trying to do the best I can right now.
And Armando, we are all impressed with all of you and are very proud of each and every one of you. The next speaker, John Bagla, is the president of the Marin Professional Firefighters, and none of this would be possible without the support of our men and women, our firefighters that are out there doing this job every day, day in, day out. They understand the work better than anyone else, and their willingness to mentor, coach, and develop these young people, take them under their wings and show them how this fire service works and how to get into the fire service provides enormous value, and the partnership is critical in its success. So, John, thank you.
Hello there, everybody. I'm John Bagla, president of the Marin Professional Firefighters. It's an honor to be up here with this panel and this group of people, especially some people we haven't had a chance to see most recently. This is an incredible program, and one of the reasons why we, organized labor, the Marin Professional Firefighters, are so on board with this is we need the best people to do the best job in the world. Fire service is the best job, hand down. I would put it up against any other career choice, any other profession, anywhere in the world.